So in the second video, I want to just do a quick little overview of MyLabsPlus. Most of you have used MyLabsPlus before, but I just want to walk you through some of the things that we're going to be using and also some of the resources in here that a lot of people don't know about. You're going to see me sign in, and my sign-in information is very different than yours. Your sign-in information is your first initial, your middle initial, your last name, and then the last 3 digits of your student ID, which is exactly the same way that you sign in for your email account and Moodle and WebAdvisor. And then your password is your 6-digit birthday. So once you log in, you're going to click on our class. So this video is for both of my online classes, my algebra class and my trig class. So whichever one you're in, you're going to click on your class. If you are having trouble seeing anything once you log in, you need to go back to that email that I sent out a couple of days ago with the help resources for the different browsers, and you need to go through every single step it says in there for the different browsers and do exactly what it says. I helped with somebody with this on Friday, and we had to add some web addresses to the add-ins box on the web browser, and as soon as we did that, everything worked fine. So make sure you click on the web browser that you're using and you follow all the instructions that it says to on there, every single step, and then close out your web browser, restart your computer, and then it should work fine. If you need help with this, then you're probably going to have to come to campus and get somebody to help you if you can't do it yourself. So when our course page pulls up, and this one's for my algebra class, I'll also pull it up for my trig class, but it should be the same. Usually, whatever assignment is due next will come up first in this what to work on next box. If for some reason it's not there, and you know as a fact you have an assignment due and it's not in this box, you can always go over to the left here and click on either homework or quizzes and tests, depending on whether it's a homework or a quiz or a test. And you should see it in there as well. So right now, both classes just have a homework posted. My algebra class has homework number 1 in section 11151621, and my trigonometry class has also homework number 1, but it's in 6.1 and 6.2. So you probably don't have as many options over here on the left, but you do have several similar options, and I want to point out a few of them that will be very helpful for you. One of them is going to be the chapter contents, and this is pretty much an ebook. So if you don't have a physical copy of the textbook, you can still get to the textbook, just an electronic version of it. So you can see the textbook here, view the e-text. If you want to read section 1.1 on your computer, you can view the e-text. You can watch a video presentation of section 1.1, or you can work in the study plan of section 1.1, which are just some study problems that MyLabsPlus has picked out to go along with 1.1. Now, they will not count as a grade for this class. They are just extra problems. So that would just be something extra. But you can view the textbook here in MyLabsPlus, and you can watch a video presentation for the textbook. There is a video notebook that accompanies your textbook, and this is just where all the videos. This is, oops, sorry. So this is pretty much everything that's in the textbook, just broken down into pieces. I'm going to go back. The grade book is also something where all of your grades are going to be kept. I haven't done any assignments yet, so there's nothing here. it defaults to just what you've done in the past month. But if you want to see everything you've done, you can do the drop down arrow and say, show me everything in the entire course to date. And it will pull up every single assignment. Going to your grade book will be helpful also when it comes to test time, because you can go back into old homework assignments and practice the problems back from your old homework assignments by clicking on them from your grade book to help you study for your test. So if I was getting ready to take test number 1, I can click on homework number 1 and homework number 2 from my grade book to practice some of those problems again. So the multimedia library has a lot of good resources as well. There are some videos in here, and it's by chapter. So if you're working in chapter 1, you can tell it to look up everything for section 1, all the videos for section 1, for example. And it's got everything there that goes along with chapter 1, section 1. Finding the equation of a circle, finding the coordinates of a center of a circle, graphing a circle, and so on. So this is all under the multimedia library. Course tools. So some of this stuff that you can see, again, there's an ebook, video transcripts, and these are not very good. I wouldn't suggest you look at any of those. This is for if anybody is hard of hearing and they can't hear what's being said in the videos. It's not like a set of good notes to go along with them. It's really just kind of a very crude text file. So they've got a lot of work I think they need to do with those. But you can always, again, from the course home, your assignments should pop up right here with the due date right next to them. If for some reason you know something is due and it's not showing there, if it's a homework, you can always click on homework. If it's a quiz or a test, you can click on quiz or tests. Chapter contents is a quick way to get to something in the textbook. You can also go to the video notebook and look for videos. And then the study plan has lots of extra practice problems, and they are organized by section. So you can go to all chapters. If you know you just need lots of extra practice in chapter 1, section 1, and you don't want to necessarily keep doing your homework, but do some other things, you can go to chapter 1, section 1 and do some stuff in the study plan. You can look at your grades in the grade book. And I've got a few more minutes in this video, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up homework number 1 and just show you what these homeworks look like. One thing I want to caution you for is a lot of people miss and a lot of people get problems wrong because they don't see some very specific directions under the answer boxes, and there's one of them. I just passed it. So under the answer box over here, it says simplify your answer. In blue, in parentheses, it says simplify your answer. Type an exact answer using radicals as needed. You need to pay very specific attention to these directions underneath the answer box. They tell you how your answer has to be typed in order to be counted correctly. If you do not type it in exactly how these directions under the answer box tell you to, it will be counted incorrect. So here in this first homework, when they say find the distance, if you type a decimal in that box, it's going to count it incorrectly because they want an exact answer using radicals. So a decimal is not an acceptable answer. One other thing that is going to help you out tremendously is the question help. So if you have no idea how to do this problem, there are a lot of help tools. One of them is Help Me Solve This. So if you notice, the problem said find the distance between 3, -2 and 1, -12. So when you choose Help Me Solve This, it's going to walk you through that exact same problem. And it pulls up the distance formula. This is the formula you have to use for this problem. And it's going to ask you to help it along the way. It's not just going to sit here and tell you, give you all the steps. It's going to ask you to participate and ask you to interact with it. If you don't necessarily want, so now that I've closed that box, it changed the problem on me. If you do Help Me Solve This, it's going to change the problem on you. If you do View an Example, it pretty much does the same thing, but it does a different problem. And when you close it, it doesn't change your problem. And it also doesn't make you interact. It's going to give you the formula and tell you what to do and go through the steps and end up. And what's also helpful is it shows you the format of the answer that they are expecting. And a lot of times people know what they're doing. They know the formula they need to use. They know where everything goes. They're just getting it wrong because they don't know the format that they're supposed to be typing the answer in. So sometimes it's helpful just to see the format that they're expecting the answer to be in. So, and then when you go back, your question is still exactly the same. So that one is just View an Example. It's a similar problem, just with different numbers. So some of the problems have a video that go along with them, and you'll watch a video of somebody working out a similar problem. The textbook will open up to the section where this topic is discussed. You can ask my instructor, and that will send me an email telling me you need help on this problem, and it will send me a screenshot of this exact problem. So I know exactly what numbers you're working with and exactly what the question is asking you to do. But I will tell you, it's just an email, so I won't necessarily get back to you immediately. I usually, though, can get back to you within about 12 hours at the most. So if it's really close to when the deadline is, the Ask My Instructor might not be helpful. But there are help aids over here for almost every single problem if you get stuck. And again, like I said in the last video, take very detailed notes of exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. Write down your question, write down your numbers, show some steps. That way, if you see this question again on your test, you know exactly how to work it out and you can get it correct on your test.